Here is the discrepancy called Presidio Heights. Two units responded that night, two police units responded to a radio dispatch at approximately 9:58, but the crucial thing is that both police units got the call at the same time. Donald Fouke and his partner, Eric Zelms, were here on Presidio Avenue. They'd just passed Washington Street at 9:58 and they went up to Jackson Street and turned west and travelled along here to the intersection of Jackson and Maple, where they saw a white male subject at around here. In fact, in the November the 12th memorandum, they said they last saw him turning up here into Maple Street, heading north. That journey time is 1 minute, which means if they got the radio broadcast at 9:58, they would have arrived here at 9:59. Now, we know that this journey from the cab to this position here is 3 minutes. Even Zodiac said, PS, 2 cops pulled a goof about 3 minutes after I left the cab. So we know that this sighting of the white male subject was 9:59. So clearly, if we just backtrack, Zodiac left the cab at 9:56. This journey here along Cherry is 1 minute, which means if he left the cab at 9:56, he arrived here at 9:57. Now, on some Zodiac killer site forums, Zodiac forums, and Mike Rodelli's book, when Armand Pelisetti and Frank Pader arrived at the intersection of Washington Cherry, the 3 teenagers, or the kids, pointed out the Zodiac travelling up here, approaching the corner of Jackson and Cherry. Now, the problem is, we know Zodiac left the cab at 9:56, which means he would have been here at 9:57. How can Pelisetti have the Zodiac pointed out to him at 9:57 by the 3 teenagers when he didn't even get the broadcast till 9:58, and he still had to travel to the crime scene? So if it took him 1 minute to travel to the crime scene, there's a 2-minute discrepancy. This doesn't make any sense. If it took Armand Pelisetti and Pader 1 minute to get to the crime scene, in theory, they should have got there at 9:59, being pointed out Zodiac at the top of Cherry at 9:59. But we know that Donald Fouke took 1 minute to get to here, and he was spotting Zodiac here at 9:59. So you've got Zodiac in 2 different positions at 9:59. This doesn't make any sense. What also doesn't make any sense is Donald Fouke's journey time to here is about 1 minute. It was no longer than 1 minute 30 seconds to get to the top of Cherry, where he supposedly in the 2007 documentary bumps into Armand Pelisetti, which means Armand Pelisetti would have had to get to the crime scene, have the Zodiac pointed out by the 3 kids, he had to escort them back to their alcove, check on Paul Stein, knowing he was 99.9% certain he was dead, take the description of the new description of the white male off the kids, tell Frank Pader, update the radio broadcast to the white male to all units, tell Frank Pader to secure the crime scene, and then, as he stated, using all his police practice, check all the alcoves and cars as he's travelling up Cherry, which is 90 seconds. Well, it only takes Donald Fouke 90 seconds to get to here, and using all his police training and travelling this 1 minute journey really carefully would take him a minimum of 90 seconds. But he has done all these other things at the crime scene. In other words, from the radio broadcast to the point he gets here would be at least 4 minutes. Donald Fouke's journey is only 90 seconds. They can't possibly meet. The only possibility is the 1989 Crime of the Century documentary, where Donald Fouke clearly states he got the update here at Arguello, realizing now why is he traveling here when he's supposed to be heading to the crime scene? He's supposed to come down here and head to the crime scene. After all, it was an assault and robbery on a taxi cab driver, so why was he getting the update here? He was going away from the crime scene. The only explanation could be Zodiac sent him there, realised he'd been duped by this white male who said there was a man waving a gun, running and waving a gun, pointing him in this direction. Donald Fouke came up here, realising he'd been duped, and having last seen Zodiac walking up Maple, here, he came round into West Pacific Avenue, travelled down here, checked the area, came back. This would have been about 2.5 minute diversion, by which time then he met Armand Pellicetti. This is the only way this timeline can work.